What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Mantic Racing YouTube channel. So after a little bit of controversy, we got the Mustang stuck in the ditch there because I blew my mirror off at Sebring, so I couldn't really see, and I also parked too far into the ditch when I pulled it out, and it had the flat tire. There was a bunch of stuff that happened in order for us to get stuck in the ditch, but we got it out. And what we're going to be working on today is the Mantic clutch, which I'm super excited for. They provided me with a, I think the terminology is sintered technology, no springs, not a sprung clutch, unsprung. So it should be on-off switch, like on, off. When you're on the clutch, there's nothing. When you're off of it, it's everything. It's all or nothing. So I'm super excited to install that, see how that feels. And hopefully that fixes some of our issues. I think that the McLeod that I put in there is already having some issues because I can smell it, and two, it just doesn't seem like it has that delivery that it used to have. But that's also my fault because I ordered the one with all organic material. It's a twin disc still. My other McLeod served me well, but I think this Mantic is the top level clutch for what we're doing with this car. So we're gonna get that installed and then see how that works out for us. So it was a journey on its own just to get this thing on the lift. It usually is, but we did find a loophole where we just air up the tires to, I don't even know what PSI actually.
Scary high.
Yeah. What is
Very
it?
scarily high.
Yeah. High enough to where I got enough clearance on the diff to get the jack under it, so that saved us some trouble there. We had to change the tire because, like I said, we got stuck in the ditch. Probably should have recorded that. That was cool, but we're trying to get stuff done. But yeah, we're gonna get this Mantic in here. Alex is already obviously working on it. He's on a rush. He's in a rush for whatever reason. I'm not even sure why.
I want to go play on my drift sim.
This guy, he's addicted.
I'm addicted
to everything but driving his real car.
I ain't got no money to drive.
All right, so I thought it was time to take off the starter, but Alex informed me that we don't, because we could just pull the trans first and then pull the bell housing, which would give us just a little bit more room up around that area, you know, like for angles like this and whatnot. But yeah, we're gonna drop this thing, and then I think we're gonna do our first fluid change. How many events do we have on this? 3, 4?
I thought 4.
Yeah, that sounds about right. So we'll probably change the fluid this time. Just check everything out, see what it looks like. All right, so we were able to get 6 out of the 8 bolts out of the trans with the 1/2 inch impact. So that's much better than we could do with the MT82 and a non-SFI bell housing. We're gonna bring this thing up real quick, check if the top 2 bolts are easier to get to from the top or the bottom, because I'll be honest with you, I don't really remember if it was easier from the top or the bottom. I don't remember how I put it on there, so we're just gonna bring it down, check it, and continue working on it. Send it. For you guys that don't work on lifts, that's a lot. So we're bring it down, see what's up with it. So, oh yeah, those will probably be pretty easy from up here. There's one there, and the other one I can't really see. Oh, I see the back of it. What do you think?
If I can get
it's still warm. It's pretty warm.
It is pretty warm.
I didn't expect it to be that warm.
Well,
I didn't drive it that long.
Some dickhead decided to get stuck in a ditch and then just rev it a bunch.
I didn't rev it a bunch. I was trying to get it out. Okay.
Well, now it's all hot. You got
Look,
all
my
hot
idea.
bothered.
My idea is the one that got it out of the ditch. I mean, but I did also put it in the ditch.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Kind of.
So here's our Mantic clutch. Very pretty, very pretty. Let me unlock it for you guys. Comes in this really sweet briefcase. Presentation couldn't be better. That's our flywheel. I haven't opened that yet. I'll show you that when we get to it, but I'm not gonna open that for now. But yeah, centered technology, no springs. I don't want to touch it too much because my hands are dirty right now, but beautiful design, beautiful clutch. Can't wait to run it. So Alex did some goon stuff. I did some goon stuff to get the bolts out of the bell housing without having to do some crazy stuff. We got every bolt out with the impact.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. That's the pros of having a SFI bell housing and a trans that's mounted to it with bolts, and well, bolts from the outside, not the inside.
Well, that and having 6 half-inch extensions.
Yeah, true. That also works. Get this thing out, and I think we're gonna call it a night and come finish this up tomorrow. Back in the shop here for day 2. Yeah, we gotta get the blazer out, and then we'll be ready to pull off our bell housing, our clutch, our flywheel, and all that good stuff. So we're gonna get after it, and hopefully we'll be driving this T56 unit and this Mustang with the Mantic clutch in it today. We've got the blazer out of the way. I don't remember if I showed you guys, but we're going to show you again if I did already. But this is what it looks like. So, as you can see here, we got throwout bearing / slave cylinder, our old McLeod that we're yoinking out of there, and then our SFI bell housing. So, I got to get this clutch line off. It's going to leak some fluid. Then I got to pull the starter off and then remove all these bolts. The ones up in the top, you can see how easy they are to get to when you have an SFI bell housing. These are kind of tricky, but we got them with really long extension and impact like we showed you. We got our new Mantic clutch and flywheel over there, and I can't wait to see this thing go in there. It's going to be pretty sweet. And then I'll show you when I get it out of the box. I'll show you all the components that it comes with and kind of break down exactly the technology that they sent me, because it's not typical. So we're gonna get right after it, and I'm gonna start removing all these bolts so that we can start the installation process. So we got the bell housing off. Before I pulled it apart, I saw some oil leaking, and it looks like it's got quite a bit. So I'm assuming the rear main seal is no longer functioning like it should be functioning. So we'll go ahead and replace that too. Guess next is to get these guys off. Get the first plate off, and then we'll work on the bottom plate and the flywheel, and then check out that rear main when we get in there. All right, we got the clutch and flywheel combo off. Thanks to some help. And yeah, we got a leak in rear main seal. You can see it there. It's a little moist, so we're gonna pop that out, go get a new one, pop that one in, hopefully not put it in backwards like I did the one on the van. So we got that edge sticking out. Actually, I should probably leave it in there until I go get the seal. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So Abby showed me how to get the rear main seal out, and it's out now. So we're ready to put our new one in. We just went to AutoZone. It took like 45 minutes because they were slow as dog shit. But the seal's out, and we're about to put the new one in. And then that should fix our oil issue, hopefully. For those of you who've never had a rear main seal out in a Coyote or any modular engine, that's what it looks like. Pretty easy to get out. I recommend using a screwdriver. If you try to use a pick, it'll probably break. Ask me how I know. All right, so we got the rear main seal in, as you can see. And I think we're good to start assembling this Mantic. So we're gonna get it out, read the directions, because I don't wanna mess this one up. It looks a little more intricate than a normal clutch, because it's better than a normal clutch. So I'm gonna pull that out of the box, read the directions, and then probably start the reassembly of this unit. Hopefully we can get this trans back in here today. I don't see why not. This thing should be on the ground later. So we'll see. All right, so we got our clutch up here on the plasma table, just to kind of check it out and start assembling it. I still have to read the instructions, so I'm gonna do that now. And then we're gonna get this thing assembled, and I'll show you how to do that. All right, first thing we gotta do is get this flywheel out of the bag, because that goes first. Now that our flywheel is out of the bag, these are our ARP bolt kits that Mantic supplies for the flywheel. I've never had a clutch that came with new flywheel bolts, so that's pretty awesome. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put all these into this groove here. Obviously the head side goes into this groove, and then yeah, I'll explain the next step when we get there, but for now I'm gonna do that. Alright, so we're just spraying this stuff down, getting it all clean, as per the instructions. I don't really see the need to spray the backside, but I'm gonna do it anyways. It's not like it touches anything, but you can kind of see like the manufacturing oil coming off of it. Mainly you just want to clean this part, because that's where the clutch comes in contact with the flywheel, so make sure that's clean, nice and clean. Use about half a can of brake cleaner on it. And then I give it a go. We got the clutch all clean, or the flywheel all clean, and we're about to put our flex shield back on, and then we're gonna bolt up our flywheel as per the instructions. So we got it mounted or stabbed, so it's up there. And then what I like to do is I like to usually put like 2 of them in, and then these call for Loctite. I put red. You can put whatever you want. I think what they require is 272. I don't even know what that means. So red it is. And then these, they look crazy, but they're just 12-point sockets. So pretty simple. We're gonna start Loctiting these, putting them all around here, and then I'll take these 2 out and then Loctite those once all these are started, so it doesn't move and twist around and then get misaligned. So yeah, we're gonna work on that now. there's only one way that flywheel can go, so you kind of got to twist it around, play with it, because they all look kind of like they could be right, and they're just misaligned a little bit, and the bolt will fix it, but that's not the case. It only fits one way, so you just kind of got to play with it like we did and get it right. And we're about to tighten these. I got them run down with the ratchet kind of snug, but it's very important to get these to manufacturer torque specs. So make sure you read up on what that is and use a torque. So this is basically how it goes. They label everything, make it really nice for you. Yeah. And then you got the flywheel side. So basically what I did is I unpacked everything, flipped it, and then flipped it and stacked it. So that's how it goes. We got our clutch alignment tool here, provided by Mantic USA. And then we got these guys, which I'm not really sure. Dang, this thing's tight. Briefcase is sick, man. I'm gonna fill this thing up with money one day, just not today. Jesus, give me the things. Okay. We're having technical difficulties, so let me get that out of there. The instructions to this kit are pretty clear cut. It'll basically be pretty much the same for MT82 and T56 for the most part. Yeah. So next will be the dry blocks. We're gonna put the dry blocks on, and then we'll start putting discs on and all that good stuff. So we're gonna put our dry blocks on now, and it does look like they are specific in the way that they go. I'm going to assume that the concave part here that you see faces outward and the flat part faces inward. Because that's the only thing that makes sense to me. So we're gonna go ahead and do that now. The tapered portion goes out. And then as you're putting it on, you need to stick your finger in these holes and make sure that the bolt is still in the channel before final installation. So we got our dry blocks on, and that's what it should look like. MT82, T56, it doesn't matter. GSR, probably the same. So I think I'm gonna clean this off a little bit with a rag and some brake clean. And then I'm gonna put the first disc on. All right, so we're just gonna spray these metal pieces off here. It says to clean everything, but I'm not sure that I want to spray the clutch discs with brake clean. Doesn't sound right to me, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna hose this thing down pretty good. Get a clean rag and kind of give it a good wipe. Just make sure it's clean. And then make sure to get all that wetness off there. Then I'm going to stack it exactly how I'm going to put it in the car. So this is going to go on top of this guy like that. And then this is the real important, like this part needs to be clean, because that's what comes in contact with your discs. Then everything that says PP means pressure plate. Everything that says FW means flywheel. So pressure plate's that way. So the PP needs to go down. And then we have another Are those supposed to stay in there? No, bro. No. Not a chance.
with starter foam?
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna try and kind of assemble this piece by piece. I don't know if that's the correct way to do it, but I feel like it'd be easier to feed one in at a time on these drive blocks rather than trying to do the whole thing and getting it all out of whack and stuff. So I'm gonna try and put this piece up there, and hopefully just the drive blocks will hold this back disc up. All right, we got the bell housing stabbed. It's not all the way mounted, but the Mantic clutch is in. And I'm gonna finish putting all these bolts in for the bell housing, or the top ones anyways, and then I'll button up the bottom ones, and then we'll be pretty much ready to throw that T56 right there back in. All right, so we got the bell housing back on. It's all buttoned up, all bolted up. The starter's in, tight, ready to go. And we are ready for a transmission. So that's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna come down on the lift so the trans jack reaches, and then put our transmission back in, and our Mantic swap will be complete. Got our alignment tool in there. Gotta pop that out. Okay. Nice little butt plug. Not sure why I did that. Never had that happen before. We just went through a war, actually. We went to go put the trans in, as you saw. It ended up not wanting to go in. I called in reinforcements. Yeah. Got my reinforcements. It wouldn't go in. He said it was misaligned. We pulled it all back off. I lost a chunk of my knuckle. Wrench slipped. But we got it back in after we took it all back apart, and then we had to suck it in with bolts. It was a whole process, and I was not feeling recording and dealing with that, so sorry about that. But it's back in, and the Mantic's in, and it's ready to go. All we have to do is put the starter back on, put the exhaust back on. Drive shaft's already in. It's pretty much ready to come off the lift, but there's no reason for us to sit out here and do it tonight, and I really want some chicken wings. So we're gonna call it a night and then go home, and that's pretty much gonna wrap this video up, because you guys have probably seen me put my exhaust and my well, not the starter, but you guys have probably seen me put my exhaust on like 150 times, so there's no reason to record that. But we appreciate you guys subscribing, we appreciate you guys watching, and until next time.